Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to everyone. I hope everyone has had their lunch and hoping everyone had a very good day so far. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Graduan for inviting us to be part of today's session. Today, we will be having a trivia session with two of our most experienced leaders from PwC, uh, Layan and Tariq. Before we start, maybe I would like to do a quick introduction to everyone. Uh, I'm Alif, Senior Manager from Risk Assurance Services, PwC Malaysia. We will be moderating this session. And today we have been blessed with the presence of Layan and Tariq. I would like to invite Layan first to introduce a little bit about herself, and then moving on to Tariq before we start today's session.
Sure. Thanks, Alif. Hello, everyone. I hope you have a very good lunch and come to hear from us for these sessions. My name is Layan. I have been in audit practice for, I believe, is longer than most of your age here, about 30 years. Yeah. So with my experience in audit practice, I would love to share with all of you today through the Travel Challenge today. And I'm looking forward for interesting questions and challenging questions to me. I will talk a little bit more about myself through the questioning later. I'll pass this on to Tariq.
Thanks, Ryan. And also thank you, Arif, as well as Grajuan, for inviting me. I'm very excited to be part of this. So I'm a tax partner in PwC, based in Kuala Lumpur, and I've been practicing, well, not as long as Lion, but 16 years so far and counting. 16 happy years. I've I mean, PwC is my first job, and I've also been interning whilst I was studying. So um, that's in terms of career wise. I'm a father of four children. My wife delivered a baby during the MCO recently. My fourth child. I'm a Liverpool supporter. I still actively play football, and I also actively play volleyball whenever I can. But I'll be you'll know a little bit more about myself through the questions later on in the trivia. So with that, maybe I'll pass this floor back to Alif.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Tariq and Layan. And Tariq, it's a good time to be a Liverpool supporter these days, right? Okay, so everyone, today we have a very interesting day for everyone. As mentioned briefly just now, we will have a trivia session with Layan and Tariq to answer some of career-related questions, to answer for them to share some experience and insight from their journey so far in PwC as leaders, right? And later on, we will have some interactive session with the audience that is viewing it live from the Graduan website, where the audience will be able to uh, participate in choosing what are the questions that they will be asking the leaders today. And after that, we will be concluding with standard Q&A sessions, and that will be it. Hoping for a very wonderful and insightful sharing from our leaders today. Okay, so perhaps we can start our session today by going through the standard trivia question that we have pre-prepared earlier. Okay, maybe I would like to start off first with Lian. Okay, okay.
Sure.
So, as a person, are you an early bird or a night owl, a night person? Some person they prefer to wake up early, undisturbed, to do their own stuff, right? And some people prefer the night time where they feel more relaxed as compared to the earlier part. So which one are you?
Actually, Alif, to answer these questions, if through the stages of my career journey, in fact, it actually changed. I would like to share here. It's because at my earliest years, in my career, I am a night owl. As the years pass by, now I will answer you that I am a early bird, because I always now thinking that getting up early, get my work done early, then I will still have time for something else in the evening. Yeah. So to answer this question today, I will tell you that I'm an early bird.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Layan. Okay. Can you share a little bit more about your day-to-day responsibility as part of your leadership in PwC?
Okay, sure, not a problem. As I earlier mentioned, I have been in assurance practice for 30 years, So I believe that most of you probably will think about will that the career journey will become a routine day-to-day chore for me. But having these questions, which is a very in appropriate time for me to address, is to letting the audience to understand a little bit more about me, about an assurance partner, what is the day-to-day responsibilities. You will find that in an audit line, it actually is not really a routine chore, because from day to day, you will find that there are a lot of exciting things coming up. Like for myself, my daily routine chores, yes, it will be definitely having clients meeting, and also having an engagement the team meeting. Yeah. Having said that, during the meeting, matters that is being discussed, topic that is being addressed are really, really different from day to day. Yeah. And clients as well, we are actually engaging different clients with different matters to deal with. So day to day, I'm addressing, attending meeting, addressing, resolving matters that relating to engagement, as well as there is more important thing is coaching the people. Yeah, and you can see that we work as a project and we work as a engagement team. We have different level of engagement team member. So with myself, usually being regarded as most inexperienced team member within the team, I would always need to download my insight, my experience, and which I love to do so, because I always believe that sharing is caring. Yeah. So that is where the day will goes by with, the meeting, with the coaching. Yeah. But not end with that, because there's a lot of time I will still need to sit still in front of my laptop, looking at the work that the engagement team have assembled, and also looking through, reviewing the work. And these are part of the audit procedures and audit process. So you will find that a lot of interactions with people, a lot of things that is perhaps I would say that quite new to me, because every day you deal with different people, different issues, and you need to think about a way how to address the issues. So you will find that day-to-day responsibility, yes, at broader basis is about that, but in terms of the integrity, you will find that that is very exciting. Yeah. So I hope I answered the questions, Alif.
Yep. Yes, it is indeed. What about you, Tariq? How is your day-to-day responsibility looks like?
So my day-to-day responsibility, not so much different as Diane's. Similarly, um, as a leader in my group, you got to have an overall look in terms of the engagement with the client, the engagement with the team, and as well as making sure that our internal matters are also addressed. So
Yeah.
generally, what I will do, my daily routine would be, uh, actually it starts right before I go to sleep. I'll just open up my calendar, what's in store for the next week or the next day, and I'll just quickly make a scribble elsewhere, to say that what are the things that I think that I need to do first, and what I can actually take it a little bit further, and and I squeeze it within the the schedules that I have, right? So and by and large, it's always about attending to calls, attending to internal meetings, external meetings, and address questions that if, whether the clients have issues or problems that they need solving, or problems or issues that the team is facing, right? So obviously the overarching function, similar to what Lion is mentioned, is to make sure that as the project progress, any bottleneck, any stumbling blocks that is faced either by the client or by the team, we are there to not solve alone, but also to co-create the solutions for both
Yes.
the client as well as the team, right? And all this, you can imagine the kind of responsibility that we have. So I try my best as well to find time in that day to sprinkle in some investment to actually further add value to my capabilities, right? Because especially in the area of tax, I'm sure it's the same for assurance as well. Business evolve, policy evolves, and we always need to get ourselves updated, and relevant, because for example, budget 2022 was
Yep.
announced recently.
Yep.
Clients, you got your colleagues, you got your staff, all of them will be looking up to you to for an answer. If not an answer, a direction towards an answer, right?
Yep.
But actually, just to come back to the trivia question, Alif, am I a night person or an early bird or a night owl? I believe it hinges upon one factor, which is where I am personally. So when I was younger, night owl is my preference. And the moment my kid starts going to school, I have no choice but to start my day way early, right? So
Yes.
and I enjoy both of them as well, because I send my kids to school. I get to spend time with them, and I'm generally the first when I send my kids to school. So, but when the school holiday comes, I'll just lay back a little bit so that I can spend more time in the morning with them, and then readjust. So I think the area here is that I can be agile to adjust whether I want to
Yes.
be an early bird or a night owl. Back to
Yep.
you, Ale.
Okay. Thank you, Tariq and Layan. Yeah, I guess that's the keyword right now. Being agile, adapting to the current situation, and try to see which one fits best for you and the team. And also providing direction, day-to-day direction to the team. It's not like we want to give them spoon-fed answers and whatnot, but it is up to the leaders to also to instigate the thinking or thought process of the team members so that they also can see where they can bring value on as well, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. Interesting. So now it's Tariq's turn first to answer. Italia or United States? Which one do you prefer?
Right. Okay. Um, my answer to this is not so much because of the the what's in the country itself, but which one has a better football team in my mind.
Okay,
uh,
I think
I
I
would
know what.
say I would say Italy. Yeah.
I see. Italy. Okay. So selecting the European champions leads you to how do you manage strict deadlines internally as well as externally with client?
Okay, so I think there's um, one thing that I believe is important when it comes to managing strict deadline. The word here is transparency and trust between everyone that is involved in the project, right? So why transparency and trust is it's when a job is assigned. I think the team members will need to be open in terms of uh, uh, what's your availability, right? What's the workload that you are currently undertaking, how is your schedule, and this is where if you do this upfront in terms of managing and highlighting what is in your runway in the particular week or in a particular month, that's where you can then quickly readjust the assignment, the team composition, or the resource requirement to make sure that we are able to meet strict deadline, right? So, and in our line of work, there are many types of strict deadlines, right? There are strict deadlines that are statutorily required
Yep.
by law. You can't miss
Mm.
that deadline, right?
Yep.
So
True.
it's very important that not just my business unit or my subgroup is the responsibility of that subgroup. It will become a responsibility of the wider team, right? Because we can't afford to drop the ball. So when we are transparent in terms of the work plan, etc., I think strictest deadline would be able to be managed, right? That's one type of deadline. There's also another type of deadline where it is a self-imposed deadline.
Mm.
It is important, but that's where I think we need to somehow be able to manage all the stakeholder and able to meet the deadline. But if we are unable to meet the deadline, the stakeholders are also managed way up front, right? So that there's no surprises. So proper planning is very important. I'll come back to football. Before you go into to play a game, you need to have the formation right, the
Yes.
composition of the team right, etc., etc., to ensure that you have the highest probability of winning.
Winning. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Back to you,
indeed.
Alex.
Okay. What about Lu, Layan? Where would you rather travel? To the
Oh,
Italy or to the United States?
actually, this is very tough questions, Alif. Both side also, they have their beauty.
Mm.
Yeah, you go to Venice, you can sit on the gondola, having a,
Yep.
a glass of wine or champagne.
True.
And then
Mm.
you move on to New York City. Of course, I love to go there for shopping.
Shopping.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I was
Okay,
expecting that.
so I don't have any football league to follow, but
Yep.
all the way to New York City.
I see. Okay.
Okay, what's
New
question for
York
me?
City. How do you keep yourself sane during peak periods? Wow,
Okay,
busy period. How you de-stress? How you manage all those after
okay.
all these years?
Okay, this question is not so tough, but if you ask me, how do I keep, sane when I do my shopping in New York City, then that could probably difficult. Okay, you see, you look at peak period. It's actually peak period, like it closely relate to what, in fact, Tariq have already mentioned, deadline. During a peak period, actually there are more deadline because many companies close their account, many companies need their accounts to be audited, and they have to do their filing on time. So that actually created many deadline, and that is what we try to mention is our peak period, the audit peak period. So a lot of conversations, with people around in the firm and also outside the firm, they will always talk about how are you getting through the peak period. Yeah. How do you keep yourself, or sane during this period? To me, pretty easy. If I'm telling this, it is actually true. Hard work actually keep me sane. The reason why is because when you have a lot of deadline to meet, when you know that you need to multitask a couple of the assignment engagement, you will making sure yourself become more, I would say that more efficient and more productive. Yeah. So in short, hard work really make me good. But of course, planning ahead to face this so-called peak period, I will always have things that in my mind that I couple with my activity where I usually do is like doing my slow jogging, and I also love to play. People will say that these are like very old-fashioned game. I love to play jigsaw puzzle, Sudoku. So these are the things that keep my mind very alert.
Yep. Yes.
And yeah, and then with the slow jogging is making my body, active. This is how I actually practice, and enhance, a healthy body and mind. You see, so that is where I was able to face the peak period when ahead of me. And you will see that I already mentioned that 30 years is not a short period. You can see that year in, year out, the cycle will come back. Yeah, the peak period will come back. But if you ask me today, I'm still looking forward for the upcoming peak period in January 2022.
Yep.
Back
Indeed,
to you, Alice.
Indeed true. Some people, they tend to be more focused and more efficient where they focus all their energy to completing the deadline. And that's how some people thrive. And also, like Tariq mentioned, proper planning, and because certain deadlines you're unable to shift because of regulatory requirement and whatnot. So you need to see what you have in hand and how to fully utilize your resources at hand to work towards that deadline together as a team. True, indeed. Okay, maybe we can have another question. Lion, which season do you prefer? The hot one or the chilly one, the winter one?
Okay. Actually, in Malaysia, we have summer throughout the year, right? In fact, I don't complain because it is a very pleasant, in a way that is very simple for us, yeah, to move around without need to bring big luggage, you see. But having said that, because I'm whole year around in Malaysia, enjoying the summer, so I would love to venture into coziness, the cold weather in country where I have a winter season.
Okay,
So I would choose winter. Yep.
Biggest challenges for your current position. I'm pretty sure there will be many given that you have been with us for quite some time. So maybe pick the most challenging ever that you can think of on top of your head.
Okay, I think the biggest challenge to me at my current positions, or even as myself, I believe is also a bigger challenge to everybody today, because it's the recent pandemic that we are facing. You see, being in my career for that long a period, when COVID-19 pandemic hit us, not only us, I mean globally, it actually is unprecedented. Yeah, it's really unprecedented, and it's really a lot of uncertainty is around us. And for us who actually having experience in our environment where we have been working, as the so-called experienced auditors, we are also stepping a 2 or 3 step, behind to rethink of how to do the work in the situation where there is a lot of restrictions. Yeah, a lot of perhaps the audit procedures may not able to execute as what we are able to. So you will find that this challenge is really, really, I would say that is the biggest for me at these positions at this moment. A lot of thinking need to be made because of how to address whether it is a limitation in scope of work. Like for example, in audit practice, we always need to attend the stock take. Yeah, but due to the MCO, the lockdown, there are a couple of the physical inventory observation not able to carry out timely. So there are a lot of the alternative procedures to need to be laid out. And these are things that I would want to share that this is very unprecedented. So the challenge is around. I will still say that at this moment in audit practice, we still have various of challenges around. But rest assured, because of all these challenges, as I earlier mentioned, it makes us be more efficient and more productive and even more stronger to face it. Yeah. So I will turn around that challenges into the strength, and there will be more and more exciting things, yeah, through the challenges that we addressing, that we will able to instill in our again day-to-day responsibility and as well as our career. Yeah.
Yep. True. I guess no one can see it coming. This pandemic, it changes a lot of how we do our work, how we interact with our client, and how we interact with our peers. Yeah. Tariq, the sun or the snow?
Oh, I prefer summer.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Summer.
fan of such a cold weather, right?
Okay. Interesting. What is the one thing you like most about working at PwC Malaysia
Oh,
specifically?
I think
Too many
this
lah.
yeah, you're right. It's too many, and it's actually a question that a lot of people ask me, right? As I move up from an associate all the way to a partner, right? There's a lot of offer out there, and people still ask me, "Hey, Tariq, why you like PwC so much? You spend most of your time." Right? Actually, the answer to that question is multiple, but I think the utmost that I enjoy is you know PwC in Malaysia. I think there's there's a lot there's a lot to offer, um, in addition to adding value to yourself. Because of the strength in number that we have, right? The activities that we can do as a group is massive, right? For example, we got our club sukan, right?
Yep.
And as you could probably guess, I'm a fairly active person, right? Just like that, I can organize a game with my colleagues, to play a football. We have a football team here in PwC, right? Or if I feel like we need to have a session on volleyball, that's something that I can also do. So it's not everything about work, right? The play here in PwC is also quite strong as well. So I like it because there is that it's beyond just our work, right?
Yep.
And because of that, actually, things that I need to look forward to is not far from where I am lah, and the diversity of the type of people that we have as well is also something that is quite encouraging. We got a lot of great minds here. You got the assurance, the deals, the consulting with um, various personalities, and all of us can come together and do wonderful things from work as well as non-work perspective. I think that's the thing that I like about PwC is the size that we have and the things that we do, just beyond work as well.
Yeah. It's not just about work. We work smart and we play hard. And
Yep.
I also miss the time where we have the inter audit firm games, right? Where we compete with the other big four uh, on certain spots. It's like our mini Olympics lah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good times on that. Okay. So perhaps one more questions before we move on to our interactive session with our audience later today. Okay. Tariq, text or call? Which one is better for you?
Oh, okay. My preference now is call, because text, there's a lot. You got your email, your WhatsApp, your Insta chat. There's a lot. So I think, and plus we are also during the pandemic. There's a lot of virtual communication. So I think I prefer to have a phone call.
Yeah. Mm-mm. True. Okay. What about you, Layan? Are you a text person or a phone call person?
Calling. Call.
Calling as
Yeah,
well.
because it will easily get into, but I will always start with whether, hello, I will say that, hello, is this a right time for me to speak to you, or do you prefer me to call back? Yeah, so I will find that it's easy to get it through. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so I guess that is the same questions that about key competencies. Is that right?
Yes.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Okay, looking at key competency that from fresh graduates, I would think that at this era, I'm actually looking for graduates would have, I would say that with strong analytical skills. As you know that now with this era, we have a lot of data. We are talking about big data, and we need to massage the data, analyze the data, and then how to assess and convert the data into the problem solving, you see. So these are things that I think is important, the competency that we are look out for from the fresh graduates. Having a critical thinking mindset, as I mentioned, to address a problem solving, and importantly also having a strong communication skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and last but not least for me will be time management. Remember that
Time
we have
management.
day-to-day responsibility. So the time
Mm.
management, it is very vital, and that is all I believe is the core attributes that we are looking for
Mm-mm.
the fresh
Yeah.
graduates. Yeah.
Yep. Indeed. What about you, Tariq? What do you look for when you interview a candidate or fresh graduate that
Okay.
keen to work together with PwC?
Yeah. So obviously, the technical bits are the given, right? So,
Yeah.
but those technical skills, you know, you can always build, right? So, but what I normally gravitate my focus towards is a couple of things. Is I think it's if that person is bold and able to actually form an opinion around current issues, etc. Right? Um, I like to see my team. The reason why I look for that is because I like to see my team to as well challenge me in certain decisions or certain things that I do, right? Because that's where you spark greater innovation and problem solving solutions in delivering our work, right? So I would like my team to have that attributes that that can that's a bit more creative and bold, and when new things come, because that's always happening, right? There's new, like I mentioned, there's new business, there's new policies, there's a lot of mega trends happening, and we must be able to respond to that. And we are not able to respond if we as individuals, as a group, will not be able to actually be bold to take on challenging assignments and be bold enough to actually put forward solutions that is really can differentiate us as an individual, us as a firm, and then obviously make a difference and to the client, and making that different and giving that solution not just for that moment but on a sustainable manner.
Yep. Yep. True indeed. I guess now that's why PwC also is encouraging a campaign of preparer-led discussion where we strongly encourage our more younger juniors to speak up, lead a discussion with the leaders rather than just the leaders giving instruction and whatnot. I guess those are the benefits of having all this, because we can learn from each other, from the leaders as well as from our younger, fresher mindset people, right? Okay. I guess we should move on to our next session for today. So, audience, so I need your help. I need your help today for our next session. We will be choosing an options of a Malaysian challenge where there will be two options that you can suggest via this chat, and then from there, for example, we will there's nasi lemak and roti canai, right? So if the crowd choose the nasi lemak, then we will reveal a trivia question for the nasi lemak part. So that's how the game goes lah for today. And subsequently, after this trivia session, we will have our old school FAQ question that I have seen from our chat box here. Okay. So maybe I need the help from the audience. Nasi lemak or roti canai? Which one you prefer? Which one do you like the most? Yeah, I guess both also are Malaysian favorite, right? Depending on my mood and where I am, I will choose either one each day, or maybe even I will take both each day. Yeah. Okay. Keep the chat coming. I can see some answers already. Seems like the Malaysian viewers are voting for nasi lemak. Okay, let's see. Is there a question behind nasi lemak? Yes, it is. What are the tips on creating a healthy work-life balance? Interesting. Work-life balance linked to a nasi lemak picture. To be honest, I cannot relate that. Okay, maybe Lion.
Yeah.
How do you manage this?
Actually, Alif, it's quite important for work-life balance. You have a nasi lemak. You need to start. You need to start your day. You know the good morning day right. You see, so have a plate of good, delicious nasi lemak is important. Okay, for work-life balance, a lot of I think this question is being asked to a lot of people, and I think it is important for us to understand a little bit on when we say balance. Yeah, the words of balance, to me, it doesn't mean 50-50. Yeah, a balance here is not like I guess if all of you are accountant out there, you will probably think that balance should be like balance sheet. Asset and liability should be get it balanced. But for me, work-life balance it means that once you get on your work, you actually also think about how do you reward yourself, how do you have your leisure time, your me time. Yeah, your me time can be your time with your family member, your sibling, your elderly and family members. Yeah, so in terms of the life in a way that how you spend a good quality time is more important as to you go for quantitative, like 50-50. Yeah, so for me, tips on creating is always look for something that you wanted to do after a busy engagement. Like for example, if now I'm planning for a deadline, I will always reminding myself, once I finish this engagement, what do I want to do? Do I pre ahead? I wanted to have a good dinner with my family member. Then I will perhaps do that booking, or I wanted to have a good session of running with a group of good schoolmates. So then I will make sure that we'll put forward the time and the slot. It will always make it happen. And how we're able to make it happen is when you make sure that you have all the booking in your diary for clients meeting, for teams meeting, and to deliver your final deliverable. You also block in the time where you wanted to taking a half day off, or taking a session on weekend where you wanted to do the leisure work. So make it priority when you need to perform any part of this. So that it will be easier for us to make sure that we are able to achieve a work and life balance.
Yep, indeed. Prioritize your work as well as prioritize your outside of work life. So make it balanced, indeed. What about you, Tariq?
Yeah,
Healthy
actually,
work-life balance.
healthy work. Okay, so actually, in today's environment, I think there's a new term that people are using, right? It's called work-life integration,
Yep.
right? So work-life integration, it is actually essentially, it's not about drawing a line between, the number of hours that you need to spend at work and, number of hours of personal time, right? Because as we all are individuals, as we progress in our life, you know, our our personal family commitment also changes. We have our ecosystem of our personal ecosystem, and then we got our career ecosystem. So the key question here is, how do you make these two ecosystem work
Yeah.
seamlessly for you, right? Actually, just to give you an example, right? When I was, when I was single, I, when I was not, I have no kids. Actually, I can actually spend, more than the required hours at work, right? But when as the moment I got married, I got kids, I have to actually, spend the time, take that time away and to actually, give it to my family. And how do I do that without compromising my quality of delivery of work? Actually, the how I'm able to do that is this to the again to the concept of trust, right? The organization that I'm with trust me that I'm able to deliver the work wherever, whenever I can, not with, and the organization that I'm with also trusts that that the situation that I am personally, and they are able to also readjust, the requirements, to take into account my personal requirement, right? And this is evident as well. A couple of years ago, I was faced with an option to either, leave PwC and to actually fulfill my family commitment, and PwC actually offered a solution that on a flexible basis, right? So I think both, you as a your as a individual and the organization as well need to be able to actually seamlessly work together, and that's where the work life integration makes sense, as all this
Yep.
is actually an ecosystem on its own. Yeah.
Yes, indeed true. Yeah, because these days, each organization is trying their best to cater for and be more flexible to their employees' needs, and also it is up to the employee also to pay back the trust given to them, entrusted to them on meeting the deadline given and fulfilling their work goals together. Okay, maybe another one trivia that we need help from the audience. Next picture. Ah, teh tarik or Milo truck. Ayo, both also quite sweet. Okay, so which one is the more more favorite drinks for the audience here? Audience today. If I personally, I will choose teh tarik maybe because it's age factor ke apa benda ke. But Milo drinks when it's cold on a very hot day, wow, it's really refreshing. I think we have an answer already, and the answer is Milo truck. Okay, is there a question for Milo truck? It is Flex Plus initiative. So I guess these are the initiative that PwC has introduced for the past few years, and we have embarked it quite successfully. Right. So Tariq, which one are your most favorite initiative in
Uh,
relation to Flex Plus?
Actually, the Flex Plus that I have actually taken myself is actually the reduced work week. We used to call it flexible working arrangement. that's that I like the most, because I've actually taken advantage of it, and it has sort of like paid off for me personally as well as for PwC, right? But there's a lot more of a few more other Flex Plus that is also worth mentioning, that is quite awesome in terms of its nature, right? For example, the flex wear, now every day is a dress down day, except for when you are required to meet have a client meeting, but even with external client meeting now, more and more I find, even my clients are also on a dress down arrangement, so it's a bit more relaxed and casual. So I think if I may, I just mention two, which is the flexible working arrangement as well as the flex wear.
Yeah, indeed. Now, when both people are dressing down, it creates more personal touch rather than the rigidness when everyone thought they need to be so serious in answering all the question and whatnot, right? Yeah, indeed. Okay. What about you, Layan?
Oh, I think there is a lot of Flex Plus initiative in PwC. So I think among what Tariq had mentioned, I'm looking at Flex Friday. Yeah, in PwC, I think every second Friday, second week Fridays, that will be a half day off for everyone. And I usually will inform my clients upfront. And when we plan our engagement, I will inform the clients that, this coming Friday is our second Friday, Flex Friday, and the team will have some activities, and therefore we will not be on the job. Yeah. So therefore, I think it is a very good initiative where the Flex Friday, we can use it for team activity. We can go for, hiking, we can have teh tarik, sessions, and personally, sometimes I also use it for my own me time. Yeah, I can block a facial, and I can have that time to do so. And other than Flex Friday, we do have a Flex Care, that when we need to accompany a family member, or let's say to visit a doctor. So those are really I would say that the time that given by the firm, and which are very convenient to us when we really in need of it. Yeah. So, and recently, like we do have the vaccination leave and all this, to us to facilitate us to go to get our vaccinations. So all these are in fact all under the big umbrella of Flex Plus. Yeah. So we will not able to finish all the Flex Plus here, but rest assured that if participant is interested to find out more, always can reach out to our HR member. Yeah.
Yep. True indeed. Flex Plus initiative has been a game changer for PwC for the past few years. It has helped the employees, the people to become more refreshed and able to cater for their personal need as well in accommodating the work life. Okay. Conscious of time, I would like to pick one of the Q&A session that has been posted by the audience today. There are a lot of wonderful questions, but I think I can pick one that resonate well right now. Okay, so agility in youth today. How is it important in today's workplace? Maybe Tariq first. Hearing from you, the importance of agility in youth.
Yeah, I think it's um, it's relatively important. Okay, for a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons that I would again reiterate, right, is that the globally we are seeing a lot of things happening, moving and changing, right? And if we are not able to move quicker, and readjust our view, the way we work, it will be a challenge, right? We'll be falling behind. Actually, very easy to look at an example is when we are in when we enter into a pandemic, right? No one would imagine, us sitting at home for months and months. But we are, as a firm, we are still able to deliver our work, right? Because we have actually, we have saw the importance of investing in the technology, investing in our people, giving them the flexibility upfront, right? So we've already built that ecosystem for for our organization. So when we move into a pandemic, and we are all on a lockdown, I think the team are able to still use the tools that we have invested years before. Okay, not because we wanted this to happen, but it just so happened we know technology is important, right? So and our people are able to shift the way they do their work. Like, even for me, I am so used to reviewing things manually, right? So I need to be agile to review things digitally as well, right? So I need to actually learn new things, new tools quickly, right? So just give me a few seconds just to talk about these new skills, right? I read this. There's this concept called excited accountability, right? You find that I find that sometimes, right, you find that you can actually learn new things quickly and surprising at a surprise rate, you know and when you get a work that you don't really enjoy, and then you find it difficult to do, right?
Mm.
But it's really difficult. Now, what makes one more easy and the less easier, more challenging, it's this concept called excited accountability. You are
Mm.
excited to do the work, and
Mm.
you are accountable for that, and therefore you have this supercharged learning ability, and it makes things easy. So, but obviously the trick is, how do you always have you shift that mindset to
Yeah.
excited accountability lah. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, when you feels it's fun and it's not a burden, you do it more lightly as compared to something that you don't really like, right? Yep, true.
Mhm.
Okay, over to you, Layan. What do you think the importance of being agile in today's working environment?
To survive, we need to be agile. Actually,
Yes.
to a very simple analogy, if I can share with the participant is, putting aside the work, you just look at this pandemic. Actually, it changed a lot of the landscaping. Yeah, it'll change a lot where the way now you go, you need to survive. You need to have your smartphone. Why? You need to scan my Sejahtera wherever you go. And you don't need to make sure that you are blue and not yellow or orange. So
Yep.
you will see that things have changed so much. Yeah. And one of the very basic thing I just to share with the participant is, in the past, I always keep my hair long. Yeah. But because of this pandemic, I cut short my hair. It's a very simple reason, is because now, to and fro, when we go out and we come home, we need to make sure we keep ourselves safe. We need to wash our hair, everything. So this is a very simple analogy that we need to be agile to fit into the world that we are facing. So we are not talking about into very technical thing about like ESG matters, yeah, where you can hear a lot from our PwC and also other corporate, where we actually, like what Tariq said, that we actually venture into virtual, reviewing the accounts virtually, soft copies, minimizing all the papers. Yeah. So you will find that agility, actually, because of the environment, because of the pushes, because of the pandemic, and you will find that each and every one of us, yeah, we have to make sure that we learn how to be agile. Yeah. And
Yes.
for the fresh graduates, you all are very young. You all should be able, on top of the list, that you all can actually change or be not being so rigid, be flexible, yeah, open mindset, and try, be brave and be bold to attempt to face whatever put forward to you. I may not be saying it's challenge, but anything that is changing, try to embrace the change. Yeah, embrace the change and make sure that you are able to adapt and you're able to apply what you have already learned through your college and university and deliver it. Okay?
Yep. Indeed true. I guess open mindset, open to change and be flexible. That is one of the key attributes that we are looking for. Not just at PwC, but I guess everywhere in the world, right? Okay. A final question for the day. Conscious of time, we only have 5 more minutes. Okay, Layan.
Yeah.
If you are not a PwC partner, what would you do?
Oh, I will want to be a teacher or lecturer. Yes. In fact,
Okay.
to me, I love to. I think if you hear my responses in some of the questions, you know very well that I am the person who love to coach people, who love to share my experience with the rest of the young people. So in my mind, I could be a quite good teacher or lecturer, where I would able to apply the real life experience, and also what I've been learning, to perform the role as a lecturer. Yeah. In fact, if one day I retire, I would love to be continue to engage in perhaps in the economic front and to see whether there is any opportunity for me to download my experience to the rest. Yeah.
Yep. I'm pretty sure there will be indeed. Tariq, what about you? I think the audience can guess what you might be.
Footballer.
If not if not a PwC partner. But let's see. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, actually, I would love to, be a footballer, right? But I'm as much as I play the game, I know I'm not that good to be a football star, right? But being a footballer, you got the retirement age is, very short, right? So actually, what I recently I've been looking at picking up is actually farming. Yeah, so whilst I have not been able to, but during the lockdown period, my wife have been buying seeds, and we've been actively planting, growing a small garden at our house, and I actually truly enjoy it. So it got me thinking that if I'm not working as a partner in PwC, I don't mind actually spending most of my time, focusing on farming, and just to actually even be a bit more innovative in terms of, how do we do farming in the city, which is quite popular now in Singapore, right? And I think in Kuala Lumpur also is picking up, and I think I'll be a farmer, right?
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Interesting. I guess that's an interesting concept that we also need to adapt to the surrounding to cater for what need to be done, right? Okay. So I guess we are at the end of our session today. Apologies to the audience, we are unable to take most of the questions, but we have seen the question, and we would like to thank everyone here that is here tuning in to us, listening to Layan and Tariq sharing their experience, their war stories, and their expectation from us. I believe if times permit and if there's a future events available, I'm pretty sure they are more than happy to share their experiences and stories all together. So I would like to say thank you to Layan and Tariq for your time today, sharing with the audience, as well as we would like to thank Graduan for giving us the opportunity to be part of this wonderful interactive session for today. So for the participants, don't forget to follow Graduan and PwC Malaysia for more info on what are the benefits or what are the latest news in the professional services today in Malaysia. So I would like to wish everyone have a very good day and stay safe and see you soon. Bye. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.